Jonathan and I were at Adam's house last night, helping him do some final preparations for sharing his story. And a lot of times, what we don't realize when we're young is that sometimes the things that we say are really profound. And when you're a kid and when you're young, you don't always see it that way. But I remember Jonathan asked Adam a question last night. And he said something along the lines of, what do you want to see happen in the world? And Adam responded by saying, I wish that there never had to be a coming out process. I wish that it didn't have to be a thing. I wish that I could just be me, who I am, and that it would just be. And now, I want to invite him to the stage to share a story about who he is. Ready?
All right, howdy. Okay, I don't know how close to hold the mic. I'm really sorry if I get quiet and people can't hear me in the back. My name's Adam. I'm 15 years old, and I'm transgender. And I'm pretty sure, as far as I can remember, I've been saying... Hold up. 1 second. Okay. I'm so sorry. Have you ever felt like you say, oh my God. Have you ever said something and like, you really say it, but people don't really understand it? Like, I've done that a lot. I remember when I was in grade 3, me and my family went on a trip to Disneyland. My parents told me we were going to a car show, and I was really excited. And for like 2 months, I told my teacher I was going to a car show. And I was really happy. And then, because my mom was being my mom, she took the video camera out as I think we were on a line to get on a bus to Florida. And my sister is dancing around a pole, very angry. I don't know why. And she went, where are we going? And I was like, car show. And then she made me read the sign that says, this way to Mickey's bus or something. And me and my sister were upset because we wanted to go to the car show. And not Disneyland. I mean, that's so much worse than a car show, obviously. So we get to Disneyland, and that was pretty cool. I forget what the name is. It's in The Princess and the Frog. They're like these cinnamon sugar buns. Anyway, they're really good. That's pointless. We were there, and we went to Cinderella's castle. And in Cinderella's castle, there's a thing called Princess Boutique, where you got to pick out your outfit, or like what kind of princess you want to be, and then a hairstyle. And my little sister chose Cinderella, because it's my little sister. And I chose Tiana, the princess, from The Princess and the Frog. And then when they asked me for my hairstyle, I was like, punk. And I don't think they really knew what to do, because they're like, what? And so I had like those kind of weird clip-on colorful strains in my hair, and then my hair poofed up. And then after that was done, I was grumpily walking upstairs to the cafe or something, and we were eating lunch there. My mom recording again. This is all in video, and I love watching it. The waiter comes around and hands my dad a sword, me, my mom, my little sister, little wands. And I remember looking at my wand and then looking back at my dad's sword and being like, I want a sword. And then my mom goes, swords are for boys. And I went, then I want to be a boy. And the camera just cuts off. And it's my favorite part because that was the first time I ever like said out loud, then I want to be a boy. Which was really big because I didn't even know what it meant. I just kind of said it, and that happened. And then, so that was the first time I said I want to be a boy. And I don't think anyone cared. No one really knew what I meant. I don't even know what I meant. I don't know what I mean half the time now. So the next time, I was probably in grade 5. I hold up. I was in Regina with my best friend Lex. And we had found, me, my friend, Lex, and Connor, had found $2 in our pocket, and that meant we were rich, so we went to 7-Eleven to get a Slurpee. And on our way to 7-Eleven, walking around Regina, my friend decided he was going to say, I wouldn't mind dating a boy. And I was like, well, that's pretty cool. I want to be a boy. And they went, okay. And they kept walking, which made me upset because I thought that was a big deal, and I wanted them to think about it. And I said I want to be a boy, and they kept walking. And they got mad at me because I was holding them up because they wanted to get Slurpees. So they didn't really care, and that was pretty cool of them. But that was the second time, and that was around when I thought I understood, because I had just gotten an iPod Touch. Social media was all new to me, and I heard the word LGBTQ, and I was like, that's pretty cool. So that was the first time I heard the term transgender. And for around 2 years, from like grade 5, grade 6 and 7, I knew, but I didn't really want to say anything until like one night in October, grade 6. I was being a 11-year-old kid, and my mom said, no, clean your room, and then we got into an argument. And I remember, I don't even know what the argument was about. All I remember is being like, I want to be a boy, Mom, and she went, too much YouTube, go to your room. So I wasn't allowed to watch YouTube for like a whole week. And then a little bit later, I remember like the summer of grade 8, the entire grade 8 summer, I didn't hang out with any of my friends. I just kind of sat in my room going, I'm going to do it. I'm going to tell my mom I'm a boy. And I would go up to her like every day and I'd be like, today's the day. Nope, today's not the day. And I'd back right back out. And then I decided I was going to be funny because that's how I deal with all my stress. And so I yelled at her for like a day to come into my room, and she wouldn't. And then at the end of the day, she did. And I hid in my closet, and I jumped out and said, ta-da. And she just looked at me and went, I know you're gay, and walked out. So I kind of like, I sat there for a little, and I was like, well, yeah, but like, no. And then I came out into the basement living room, and she's sitting there watching Outlander or something, folding socks. And I was like, I want to be a boy. And she went, okay. And it was a solid 2-hour-long discussion of what it meant. I didn't even know what it meant. It was a lot of crying. I said, like, I want my name to be Adam, and I want to be a boy. And nothing's really going to change. I just don't want to be a girl. And so that was pretty cool. Anyway, and then we went to bed. Because we went to bed. I don't know, and then I woke up the next morning, and I think my mom knew, and then my dad kind of knew. And that was like the first morning where I woke up, and my mom said, good morning, Adam. And my dad called me his son, which I'm pretty sure made me cry both times. And then on the occasion of my parents telling my siblings, because I couldn't physically hold it together to tell them, my mom went, your sister's a brother now. My sister goes, is his name Adam? So did all my friends. So that was pretty cool of them, but that was like 2 weeks before school started, which is kind of scary because I didn't hang out with anyone. So I was just in my house being called Adam. And then there was like, oh, hold up. We got backtrack a little. I'm really sorry. My mom called me. My mom said, good morning, Adam. Siblings found out. My dad called me his son. And then we walked into my closet that I jumped out of like the night before and realized that all my clothes were like princess or something or like sparkly. That or it was really dark Billabong clothing because, yeah. And so my auntie took me and my mom. We went and we were shopping and she bought me all boy clothes. And I still have those clothes. They don't fit me anymore, but they're on the top of my top shelf in my closet, and I can't get rid of them. I don't think I will ever get rid of them. I love those clothes so much. And we were at Urban Planet, and Urban Planet has a section where you walk in, and you either go to males or females dressing room. And the person there counted my clothing, and then he went males, females, and then he didn't really tell me which side to go to, which is very good of him because I would have cried if he pointed to the females. So I looked back at my mom and I kind of panicked, and she pointed to the males, and I was like, okay. And so I got in there and I cried in the dressing room a little because that was the first time I ever went into like a male specified section of something. For some reason I thought they were going to know. I don't know how they would have, like there's no way they would have known, but I was like, they're going to know. So I cried a little in the dressing room, and then we bought clothes and everything was fine. And then school kind of started. And I hadn't told any of my friends that I was trans. They had no clue what was going on. So I showed up to school, and me and my mom decided the best way to tell my entire school that I was trans was for my teacher to just say my name. And you know, like, when you're going up to, like, a drive-through something, and, like, you're in your head, and you're like, I want chicken nuggets, I just want chicken nuggets, and you repeat it, and then you get up there, and you're like, can I get a... and kind of stand there for a little and, like, not know what you want. That's what it was, because I knew my name in order of, like, everyone ahead of me, because I've been in their class for the past 8 years, and I was like, okay, my name's coming up after this one person. And then my teacher went, Adam, and it was silent for, like, 10 seconds. And I was like, oh, that's me. And I was like, here? And I remember everyone, like, looking back at me, and then he continued on the name list, and then, like, everyone kind of stopped. And I was like, well, that went really smooth. And then I realized no one wanted to hang out with me anymore. This is where it gets a little bit sad, but I'm still going to be funny because I don't know how to cope with it. Not going to lie. So I kind of lost all my friends. Not that I had very many to begin with. That was really hard because I can't blame them. They didn't know. They didn't even know, like, why I was Adam. I can't get mad at them about it. I was pretty alone for most of my grade 8 year. Which is kind of sad. And it's because they didn't know why I was Adam, or like I didn't even know who I was, and like because due to them, they didn't know who I was, and that caused me to believe I didn't know who I was, and I thought I was wrong. I'm gonna get a little bit sadder here, so my kind of backtracking on like best day of my life kind of took a real short stop, like middle of grade 8, and I ended up in the hospital. And I remember on the way to the hospital, because I can't cope with my emotions, it was raining out, and I looked at my mom, and I went, haha, how convenient, it's raining out. And she just kind of cried, and then I realized maybe I shouldn't make that joke. So, yeah, we were at the hospital for like 3 a.m., and that was kind of tiring. And then some guy walked in, and he said he got hit by a car, but he walked in. That was kind of scary, not gonna lie. They were doing surgery on him in the next room, and I was just sitting there trying to sleep. And I can they're like, how did you walk in here after you got hit by a car? And he was like, I don't know. So that was quite a fun experience. And I think seeing my mom, my dad, I don't think my sister even knew what was happening, but she was crying still. My grandma and grandpa. I didn't want to, like, die. I just kind of, like, my entire mindset, I feel like it changed within that one night of seeing everyone like that, because I didn't want to ever do that again or see my family ever like that again. So, I don't know how to transition this anymore. I kind of, like, it's still getting there. I'm still on meds, but, like, that's okay, because we're trying really hard. You gotta, like, yeah, man, like, life was pretty shitty in grade 8, but, like, the past 2 years of my life, man, they've been awesome. Like, I get a lot of cool things now. People at my school don't even know I'm trans anymore. I'm just Adam, that cool kid, man. And that's really awesome. So anyway, to make a long story short, life is really worth it, which sounds really cheesy, but, like, it has so much good and love in it. And, like, yeah, there's shitty parts and stuff, but, like, if everyone just focuses on the shitty parts, then your life is gonna be shit. Sorry, but, like, But if you focus on like the love and stuff, it's good. It's so good. Like, I don't even know how to end this. Life is good, man. Life is good. I'm out.